How's life? I don't know. It's alright. I've been dealing with some things like every human being and really didn't sleep much last night. I'm sorry. That's fine. I just think I need a little me time. I just think I need a little free time. Little break from the shows and the bus rides. Yeah. Last year I had a breakdown. Thoughts telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist and I found out something funny's going on up in my house. Yeah, started thinking maybe I should move out. You know, pack my car, take a new route. Clean up my yard, get the noose out. Hang up my heart, let it air out. I've been searching. What does that mean, Nate? I've been learning. Grabbing my keepsakes, leaving my burdens. Well, I brought a few with me. I'm not perfect. Looking at the view like this concerns me. Picking up the cues right, I'm quite nervous. Hate it when I lose sight, life gets blurry and things might hurt me. It's probably gonna be a long journey, but it's worth it though. Cold world out there, kids, grab your coats. Been a minute, I know, now I'm back to Rome. Looking for the antidote to crack the code. Pretty good, I admit it, I'm in classic mode. The only pity given to me, but I can't condone. Talking down to me, I'ma have to crack your nose for cracking jokes. I'm looking for the map, the hope, you see that? Been making a whole lot of changes. Wrote a song about that, you should play it. I get scared when I walk on these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred. Forget what I'm saying and where'd the beat go? Oh, ain't that something? Drums came in, you ain't see that coming. Hands on my head, can't tell me nothing. Got a taste of the fame, it'll pump my stomach. Throw it back up like I don't want it. Wipe my face, clean up my vomit. OCD trying to push my buttons. I said don't touch it. Now y'all done it. I can be critical, never typical. Intricate with every syllable, I'm a criminal. Intimate but never political, pretty visual. Even if you hate it, I'll make you feel like you're in it though. You call me what you want, but never call me forgettable. Leave you deep in thought, I can never swim in the kiddie pool. Waited, I've been thinking the cinematic is beautiful. Man, I don't know if I'm making movies or music videos. Yeah, the sales can rise, doesn't mean much though when your health declines. See, we've all got something that we trapped inside that we try to suffocate, you know, hoping it dies. Try to hold it underwater, but it always survives. And it comes up out of nowhere like an evil surprise. Then it hovers over you to tell you millions of lies. You don't relate to that? Must not be as crazy as I am. The point I'm making is the mind is a powerful place, and what you feed it can affect you in a powerful way. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, but it's not always safe. Just hang with me, this'll only take a moment, okay? Just think about it for a second. If you look at your face every day when you get up and think you'll never be great, you'll never be great. Not because you're not, but the hate will always find a way to cut you up and murder your faith. I've been developing, take a look at the benefits. Nothing to meddle with, I can never be delicate. My even relevant, that depends how you measure it. Take a measurement to back it up and give me the evidence. Pretty evident, dependable, can never be tentative. I'm a gentleman, depending on if I think you're genuine. Pretty elegant, but not afraid to tell you to get it. Grip proper etiquette, I keep it to myself when I celebrate, huh? It's that time again. Better grab your balloons and invite your friends. Seatbelts back on, yeah, strap them in. Look at me, everybody, I'm smiling big. On a road right now that I can't predict. Tell me tone that down, but I can't resist. Y'all know that sound, better raise your fist. The search begins, I'm back, so enjoy the trip, huh?
Red alert, John, shine a light. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to the final WWE Wrestling Talk Show of 2021 with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, and this will be our final, penultimate Thursday show, because as of next year, in 2022, WWE pay-per-views will now be on a Saturday.
for the most part anyway.
But the last pay-per-view of 2021 takes place...
Last pay-per-view of 2021, you mean the first pay-per-view of 2022?
Takes place this Sunday. Or Saturday, yeah, exactly.
Yes, this is WWE's Day 1 pay-per-view, broadcasting on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2022.
From Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena.
WWE have been building this show slowly for the past month and a half since Survivor Series, with them cancelling TLC.
It'll be the first show to take place on a New Year's Day since 2007.
Well, New Year's Revolution, but that was the first weekend out in January rather than the first day of January.
So we'll kick things off with what is the pre-show match.
Yes, on SmackDown recently, Cesaro has developed a interesting program with former tag team partner Sheamus regarding his new protege, shall we call it, in Ridge Holland.
Recently called up from NXT.
And now we will have a tag team match with Cesaro teaming up with Ricochet, who suddenly has reappeared.
Yeah.
To take on Ridge Holland and Sheamus. Now, the first match that was advertised on the main card, we should point out, may have a slight change to it on the actual night.
Yes. Regarding one or two of competitors.
So, we'll go through the story first. On the October 25th episode of Raw, Seth Rollins would win a ladder match to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship. Then, about a month later, following Survivor Series, it was announced that Rollins would get his WWE Championship match at Day 1. However, that same night, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville set up a non-title match between Big E and Kevin Owens, with a stipulation that if Owens won, he would be added to the match, making it a triple threat match. Then Kevin Owens came up with a brilliant strategy to goad Seth Rollins into attacking him during the match, thus resulting in Kevin Owens winning by disqualification.
And at first, the plan worked.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Once it was revealed that Kevin Owens had won by disqualification, it was a case of Rollins was like, oh shit, what did I just do? He went absolutely ballistic.
Yeah.
Then, a week after that, former champion Bobby Lashley got involved in the situation.
Yes, by attacking all of the people involved.
And then the following week we had it was 3 matches set up with Lashley taking on Big E, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in respective one-on-one matches, in which Lashley had to win all of them to be put into this match. So the first match, they won without a problem. The second match, which I believe was the match against Kevin Owens,
I think it was that.
or Owens, one or the other. They attempted to get Lashley disqualified or counted out, in which backfired when Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville came out to reschedule the match, add a no disqualification feature to it, and Lashley would go on to successfully win against both members of the following match, resulting in the WWE Championship match at Day 1 being scheduled to be a fatal 4-way. However, WWE may have hit a roadblock in the form of recently WWE pulled Big E, Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley from the road, mainly to protect this match, and apparently it did come out that on Christmas Day, Seth Rollins tested positive for COVID-19. But despite that, at the moment the match is still being advertised to go ahead. If WWE had serious concerns over this match, they probably will have run an angle on this past week's episode of Raw to change it. So at the minute we have Big E defending against Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy who now has COVID.
Seth Rollins. Now, my initial thinking to this match was a bit of a weird one. When this match was scheduled as a one-on-one match, I was thinking that Rollins would win the title. When it got changed to a triple threat match, again I was thinking that Rollins would possibly win the title and they would use Kevin Owens to take the pin. However, now that it's a fatal four-way match, at least as of now, I'm thinking that there's a chance that Big E may retain the match. Part of me is still thinking that eventually, maybe at WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble, Rollins is likely going to be the person to take the title off of Big E. Now, on the SmackDown side of things, let's just say things are not getting any easier for the head of the table.
Yes.
So we all know what happened at Crown Jewel with Roman Reigns and Lesnar.
Jesus Christ.
With the whole title being hit over the head. Lesnar would then come out on SmackDown, get himself suspended.
Yeah.
However, recently, as of a couple of weeks ago, Lesnar's suspension was lifted. And let's just say he decided to give Roman Reigns a bit of a welcoming community.
Yeah.
And then I think Roman Reigns has made the biggest mistake of all this on the December 17th episode of SmackDown by firing Paul Heyman.
Yes, by saying, I thank you for your 40 years of service to my family, and you're fired.
Which would result in a Superman punch and a attempted concerto only for Brock Lesnar to come out. Deal with the Usos. And then with 4 chest shots was still picked up. Was still picked up by Brock Lesnar and hit with an F5. Now, despite everything, from SummerSlam we knew it was only a matter of time before they did something that would ultimately lead to Paul Heyman being back with Brock Lesnar. And apparently, from several sources I look up on the internet, this match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship is going to be used to set up another match at WrestleMania. But I will admit I do have my doubts with WWE setting something for WrestleMania when we are 3 months out.
Now we'll move on. Staying on SmackDown, we're going to move to its SmackDown Tag Team division as the Bloodline, the Usos, and their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the New Day of Sir Kofi Kingston and King Woods.
Now, where have we seen this match before?
1,000 times before.
Yes, and 1,000 times for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I mean, they've had Hell in a Cell matches, street fights.
Hell in a Cell matches.
This This time they really built this whole thing up when Roman Reigns would destroy the crown of Woods with a bit of help from the Usos. Kofi Kingston was storyline injured,
But in reality, he went on maternity leave.
And then would come back and give the Usos a bit of a beating. However, just like with Roman Reigns, I don't necessarily see the Usos losing the tag team titles just yet. I kind of expect that we are beginning to see the end of the Bloodline storyline. But I think that Roman Reigns and the Usos will not necessarily lose the titles on the same night, but within close time frame of each other.
It all depends which order they want to go.
Now, let's go back to Raw for a moment.
Yes, with a rivalry that has been brewing for how long now?
10 years, give or take. Edge took a brief hiatus from WWE following the Hell in a Cell match to Crown Jewel with Seth Rollins.
Yes, in what was an absolutely brutal match.
But following his move to Raw on the November 29th episode, Edge would make a appearance. However, he was not the only one who would return.
No, because fresh from his time on Dancing with the Stars comes The Miz.
And fresh from being absent for a fair number of years, Maurice was by his side.
Yes.
And this whole thing started really because the Miz felt disrespected that his return was not promoted and Edge was. There was a bit of back and forth. Miz's timing tough enough all those years ago was brought up. Then there was a shot about having other people on other shows mention his name just to get a cheap off. AEW.
Yeah, what?
And then there was a shot about Miz leaving to get his friends fired, and John Morrison was released.
Yes, shots fired.
And then not straight away, but this match turned into a challenge with back and forth weeks of executions and skull-crushing finales due to distractions by Maurice and stuff on episodes of Miz TV and Cutting Edge. And then this past episode on Raw,
Miz and Maurice were redoing the running guards with a little bit of help from Eric Bischoff.
Edge would come out and give a little present with some help from his old Brood music.
Yes.
And would dump goo on Miz and Maurice. Also, with the way this storyline is going, I do not believe that it's necessarily going to be a one and done type situation because the way they're playing it out, you think that they may inject Beth Phoenix into the storyline in a similar way that they did a couple of years ago with John Cena and Nikki Bella before that collapsed.
Literally collapsed. Now we're going to move back to staying on Raw. We're going to head to our next match, which will be for the Raw Women's Championship as the man or Big Time Bex, Becky Lynch. But Raw Women's Championship on the line against Liv Morgan.
Yes, on the November 8th episode of Raw, Liv Morgan would win a Fatal 5-Way to win a Raw Women's Championship match. That match took place on December 6th, in which Lynch retained by using ropes as leverage, as a typical heel does. Then, whilst Lynch was celebrating her win the following week, Liv Morgan came out and essentially tried to go at Lynch retreating to win and demanded a rematch at day one.
But before Lynch announced her what she was going to say about the challenge, she attacked Liv Morgan, put her hand in the steel steps and kicked it, injuring Liv Morgan first before accepting her challenge.
Yes, so at day one, Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Liv Morgan. Jumping back to SmackDown, there's not a lot to say about this match.
As Drew McIntyre will take on Madcap Moss.
Yes, for some bizarre reason, they have Drew McIntyre working with Corbin and Moss at the moment. And then, in what will probably just be a fairly entertaining match, and a rare case of face versus face, at least at the moment, team of RK Bro of Randy Orton and Riddle defend the Raw Tag Team Championships against the Street Profits, who won the RK Bro tournament.
Yes, to determine number one contenders to face RK Bro.
Yes, by defeating AJ Styles and Omos, team with the No More.
Yep.
And then the Mysterios. So those are the matches set for day one at the minute. Of course, with slight lies with COVID at the minute.
Hey, no, you said it wrong. Allow me. Go over now.
At the moment, there is a small possibility that the card may change and differ, but the fact that we've got 2 days until the show, hopefully the card won't need to be changed, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid a return to the Thunderdome.
Although, we'll have to wait and see about that one. So let's run you through the card one more time, shall we?
In the pre-show match, Cesaro and Ricochet will take on the team of Rich Holland and Sheamus.
Depending on how COVID will go, the match stays like this with the WWE Championship as Big E defends against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley.
Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Oh god. The Usos will defend their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the New Day of Sir Kingston and King Woods.
The Rated R Superstar Edge takes on the man who thinks he's awesome, The Miz.
Big Time Bex will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Liv Morgan.
Drew McIntyre takes on Madcap Moss.
And RK Bro will defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford.
So that is, as it stands at least, WWE Day 1, taking place on New Year's Day from Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena.
And that is our final WWE Wrestling Talk Show pre-show of 2021.
Let's join us next week where we will bring you the results and our reactions to WWE Day 1. But until then, he's been Rhys Rock Jones and he's been
Sean Randy Smith, and from all of us on the WWE Wrestling Talk Show, Happy New Year!